Welcome to Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi, and we start our show off today with the presentation of our 2016 Armstrong Coaches Roundtable Male and Female Athlete of the Year Awards. And seated right next to me is Sam Breen from Cardinal World North Catholic. And Sam, on behalf of Armstrong and the Coaches Roundtable, I'm going to present you with this trophy symbolic of being our Female Athlete of the Year.
Thank you.
And what a year you had. You see right here her gold medal. That's for winning a state championship. 26.6 points a game she averaged this year, scored 803 points, 14 double-doubles, WPIAL Fab 5, PIAA All-State First Team, and the PIAA Class A Female Athlete of the Year. 1,825 career points, closing in on someone close to you.
Yes.
Your coach, Molly Rotman, and you should pass her early next season. 893 career rebounds. You're going to go over 1,000 in that category. She's just a junior. What a fabulous career you're having. What is your strong suit? How would you describe your play?
I don't know. I think over the past 3 years, my strong suit's definitely in the post. I don't know. I've been working on post moves a lot, and that's where I get most of my points. I don't know, the guards do a good job getting me the ball inside and it ends up turning into easy buckets, so I don't know, that's probably where 80% of my points come from.
I know you have a number of schools interested in you, Division I schools. Anything they say to you, we want you to work on this or work on that?
Yeah, this summer I'm working on my left hand because that's my weakest part, is finishing on the left side, which a lot of coaches have told me. And it's not like completely awful, but it definitely could get better. And that's what I'm definitely working on this season.
As many as teams that like to run, they say anything to you about running the floor, your speed on the court, and things that they're looking for in that area?
No, I mean, not really. After my freshman year, I worked on that a lot, so that hasn't really been an issue. I've worked on my speed and agility more. I'm still working on defense a little bit though, like foot speed for defense. But as far as stamina and everything goes, I've worked on that a lot since freshman year, and it's gotten completely better.
So what's this off season been like for you? Have you already started to work towards next year?
Yeah, I've been working out a lot more than last summer. I'm working on my left hand more. I'm playing one-on-one against my brother. Trying to go all left hand just to help finish better. But other than that, I'm just trying to get in the gym as much as I can.
So looking at all the success you've had this year, what will motivate you for next year?
Just winning another state championship. That's what our goal is, and I think we can do it. We're gonna have a good team again next year, and we're moving up to Quad A, but I don't think that really matters because we're still gonna be a strong team.
You lose the championship game to your arch rival, Vincentian. How did you guys regroup and get things together again and made a fantastic run all the way to the state championship?
Well, the day we lost the championship, probably less than 3 hours later, after we went out to eat and everything, we texted in the group message saying we had to win the state championship because it was our only opportunity to get those seniors the banner because they hadn't had one at all. And that motivated us in practice. It was less fooling around, more working hard, and it ended up cashing into the state championship because, I don't know, we scouted the teams hard, knew what their strong things were, what their weak things were, and we used that against them, and ended up turning into a championship for us.
Well, I know you have aspirations at the next level. I'm sure you've heard from a number of schools. I don't know, are we allowed in recruiting rules and regulations to mention any schools at this point that have expressed an interest in you?
Yeah, I mean, Dayton, Virginia Tech, Canisius, and then Richmond, Iona, Fairfield, Mount St. Mary's, they've all offered, and then there's some that have been interested Tennessee and Oregon and Villanova and Georgetown a little bit, have been calling my dad and talking to my dad, so I mean, that's about it for interest-wise.
Would it matter to you to stay close to home, or you'd be willing to go across the country if it was someplace that was of interest to you?
It depends on the school. I would staying close to home doesn't really matter. I could go as far as 24-hour drive away to a 2-hour drive away, but it doesn't really matter. It just depends on the school and how it feels.
Well, Sam, once again, congratulations. Just had a fantastic season, and your career, you're going to be close to 2,000 career points, over 1,000 rebounds. We're hoping to get down there next year and do one of your basketball games.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be right back with our Male Athlete of the Year. I am back, and seated next to me is our 2016 Armstrong Coaches Roundtable Male Athlete of the Year, the Knock Strong Man, or the Knockless Monster, however you prefer. I'm running out of superlatives for this kid, Jordan Geist. And look at all the hardware here. This is from the Penn Relays. He owns those records there, and all of his gold medals back-to-back, WPIL, state, two-time WPIL and PIAA gold medal winner in a shot and discus, two-time Penn Relays shot put champ. You're one of 4 athletes in the history of U.S. track and field to throw the shot put over 74 feet. From coast to coast, no matter what venue you've gone to, you're setting records everywhere you go. The sectors can't hold your shots. It's just been a remarkable run for you. And he, too, like Sam Breen, is just a junior. What impressed me the most, Jordan, you were disappointed with your discus throw. But that was an extremely humid day, I heard. And a lot of people were so focused on your shot put that your discus maybe doesn't get the respect and notoriety that it should.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, obviously amongst the state and the nation, I'm one of the best discus throwers there is. But for me, it's more about the numbers for discus. Like, shot put, obviously, I'm going to try to win a national championship. But for discus, it's going to be more of trying to PR at the national meets and any other bigger meets that I go to.
But last year, you were throwing around 68, 69. How have you added 5-6 feet to your throws this year? What's been the key to your success?
Well, the biggest thing over the off season was working on the strength numbers, and then also cleaning up the little technical things. And there's still some more technical things that I can do to get another foot or two out of the throw.
Well, the impressive thing is you've thrown over 70 feet. I've lost track. Kept a record there 20-some times, maybe 24, 25, 74 feet. I don't know how many times. What keeps motivating you? Once you reach a level, success, you don't seem to be satisfied.
Well, really, around here especially, it's competing against myself. But at the national level, I know there's kids within a couple feet of me. And if I do have a bad day, they can possibly beat me. So my goal is really just to have my worst day possible, still be able to beat the best kids in the country and become a national champion.
Now, I know in a couple of weeks you're going to compete in Clovis, California. If you finish in the top 2, it's the Junior Olympics, then you go on to Poland. Is that correct?
Yep.
Any difference? Now, the shot's going to be what, 1 pound heavier and the discus a half pound heavier?
Yep. And I train with those now. The shot put only... It's about a 2-foot difference for me. It's not that much. The heavier disc is a little bit more, but I've been practicing with them for the past year at least, and I feel very comfortable with the implements.
Now, you're just a junior, but I'm sure your phone's been ringing off the hook. You're getting calls from all across the country from different schools. Right now, any particular interest anywhere?
My number 1 choice right now is Arizona State. And then the number 2 choice is University of Arizona. Those are the 2 big ones I'm looking at.
The climate's pretty important and a significant factor for you.
Yeah, it's very warm. Could train outdoor all year long. And this past weekend, it was 117 degrees there.
Wow. So what will this summer be like for you? Besides going out to Clovis, California, you going to have any downtime at all to be a typical teenager this summer?
After track, yeah. So after about the middle of July, I'll have some downtime, maybe start some golfing.
Golf. Have you talked to your coach about having some downtime? That would be his mom. Every time I tell that to people and they say, okay, what's the joke? I say, it's no joke. That's his coach. And your mom's gotten a lot of credit, deservedly so, for her work with you.
Yeah, she's an awesome coach, both with me and Brendan McTighe. He had a pretty good season this year as well.
Well, once again, on behalf of Armstrong Cable and the Coaches Roundtable, I present you with this trophy for our 2016 Male Athlete of the Year.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'll be right back with Al and George.
Armstrong Local Programming features our community like no one else. Meet your friends and neighbors at special events. Find the perfect pet. Celebrate our region's rich history or enjoy our natural wonders. Armstrong Local Programming is available online, on demand, and on your local Armstrong channel. Find the complete program schedule at armstrongonewire.com. Local programming, exclusively from Armstrong. one wire, infinite possibilities.
I am back, joined to my right by the Swami, George Abraham, to my left by the Tiger, Albert Campman. Guys, just great to have these kids on. Sam Breen from Cardinal World North Catholic and Jordan Geist from Knock. And I forgot to mention, Sam is a National Honor Society student, and Jordan's a good student too. He's right now on his list. It's either Arizona State or Arizona. They're 1-2, and Sam has a number of schools already. Tennessee, Dayton, and a few schools that have expressed interest in her, and even out to, I think she said, Oregon or Oregon State, both juniors.
Oregon State's a major program on the rise in girls basketball. I laughed when I met, they're just normal families, Western Pennsylvania families. That's what stood out to me, that they just decided a long time ago that they wanted to be good. Any family watching it today could be honored someday on our show. It's not like it's just a family that cared about their kids and got them involved.
Great parents.
Tremendous. Talk to him in there a minute. And I had somebody come up to me not too long ago. He said about how good she was and how different. Jordan understands the distance itself makes him different. But the young lady, and I said to her mom, I said, that's the best thing that I could hear when someone, there's a game off, and instead of sitting with her slippers, she's overtaking 150 more shots. That's how they get there.
Yes, just impressive and very, very humble kids.
Both.
And the only thing, Carmen put me in a smaller seat. I felt so much shorter than him. I don't know what happened to my normal chair.
No, but he's a stud.
And she's really tall.
She's a beautiful young lady, and
she
she's
looks
tall.
taller than 6'1".
Yes.
And she plays tall.
We hope next year maybe we could do something, one of his track meets, go down there and film it, and of course go down to North Catholic and do one of her games. She needs just around 80 points to pass her coach as the all-time leading scorer in North Catholic high school girls basketball. They've won, 17
So many,
WPL
yes.
championships.
Yeah, only 17.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our spotlight. We're going to combine spotlight with what's going on in softball and baseball. High school baseball, AAA, in a play-in game. It was Mars 3, Knock 1. Dylan Rotz of Mars threw a complete game victory. Knock finished the season 14-8 and dethroned, showing you how tough it is to repeat.
Hey, we sat here last year. We honored the coach. And we said, you have a lot of guys back and everything. I remember our saying we don't want to put the Maluch on them, but it's not easy.
2 undefeated starting pitchers returned.
Yes.
Just show how tough it is when you wear that bullseye on you.
Yeah, it's the truth. And in high school, all sports, you never know what's going to happen the next day. Remember, fight with their girlfriends, fight with their boyfriends, struggle with a class. You never will know what's going through their mind. That's what happens.
In the PIAA first round, Erie Prep 13, Mars 2. Mars finishes an outstanding season, 15-7, which included a section championship. And in AA, Montauk pitcher Derek Bobbin, he went the distance, gathering 6 hits, 10 Ks in a District 9 AA title game, 6-2 win over Karn City. It's the Warriors' first ever District 9 baseball title. Zach Adamson had 3 RBIs. And in the PIAA AA first round, Montauk 5, Gerard 3. Aaron Martorelli had 3 hits and 4 1/3 innings of relief. Derek Bobbin contributed a double and a triple. Next up for Montauk, 17-3. Riverside, 21-2. What did Riverside do? Vinny Locasano pitched a 2-0 no-hitter to continue Riverside's streak. Now get this, 4 WPL games, all shutouts. First PIA game, a shutout, 5 straight. They're the only team in the history of the WPIL to run through the WPL playoffs with consecutive shutouts and then add one in the PIAA. But Keysport has the all-time record of 5 in the WPL run. Just amazing. I don't know what else to say about that.
I'll add more to make it more amazing. He hadn't pitched since May 1st or May 11th. The coach said, Vinny, I'm going to give you a chance to pitch.
Jeez, man.
Vinny, I'm going to give you, and he pitches a no-hitter. Now remember, usually in the playoffs they pitch you one. He said, my first guy's a little tired, my second guy's a little tired. I'm going to pitch you, Vinny. Oh, thanks, coach. And he throws a no-hitter.
And Braden Bentel, he had the run-scoring single in the 4th inning to give the Panthers their first run. Now they're going to play Montauk this Thursday, and I'm sure they've gone this far. They're not going to look past Montauk has a pretty good team, 17-3.
Oh my gosh, Montauk winning the first ever, all those things you talked about, and that first state playoff game gives you a lot of confidence. Now they're saying, "Wait, we can beat anybody." And Riverside does not score a lot of runs, so they're usually their pitchers give up not many. So it looks for a 3-2, 4-2 type of game.
They say where that is yet.
No, they have not
I
determined.
see there's a game in Butler that's not at Pullman. I was surprised.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a game at, is it Highfield?
Could be would be at Highfield. If it's not at
no, it's not. I read it. I saw it on
Kelly
Twitter.
Automotive. It would
Surprising,
have to be at
Yeah,
Highfield.
it's surprising.
Now in Quad A, Hempfield 5 and Norwin, the WPL champs, 1. Norwin was a giant killer, knocking off undefeated Plum. How about this? They're in the same section. Norwin can beat other teams that cannot beat Hempfield. Hempfield's beaten them 9 out of the last 10 times they played.
Well, I wonder if it's a pitching thing. I that's the only way I can think about it. There's nothing else that in that sport that makes it like I can't beat this guys. I guess it must be
they
pitching.
would play in the summer and everything too in that proximity.
Right.
You wonder what's going on there.
Next up for Hempfield, 18-7, they take on powerful Erie McDowell, 22-1.
I've heard about Erie McDowell all year. Plum, Erie McDowell. Everybody's forgetting about Erie McDowell. They must really be good.
They had to run. They had to go quite a ways to win the game. They won in extras.
Yes, that's
they
right.
Did not.
That's right.
The
Good point.
prep score of Mars is the one that knocked me back.
Yes.
Gee.
And in Class A, Sarah Catholic 23-2, they will take on Rocky Grove, and Vincentian 18-7, they will take on Southern Fulton. And in softball, the undefeated Elwood City Wolverines defeated South Park 10-0 to win their second WPIAL title. This time in Double A. Reagan Mittler, she belted the Grand Slam, and Camille Main, she added a 3-run home run. Pitcher Skylar Greco at 10-0 2-hit shutout, and then Greco followed that up with a state playoff win, another 10-0 shutout over Bald Eagle. Next up, they take on Montauk Thursday, 1 p.m. at Slippery Rock University, and Montauk, they won their District 9 AA title with a 4-0 win over Cranberry. Kennedy DeMattis, a 2-hitter, 14 Ks. This was their 6th District 9 title. She followed that up with a 6-0 1-hit shutout of Everett with 13 Ks, and Courtney Claypool had 3 hits. So now it's Skylar Greco, 21-0 versus Kennedy DeMattis with 6 no-hitters this year, 22-1 at Slippery Rock University Thursday. Might be a game you don't want to miss.
I'm telling you right now.
I'll be there too. And Gary
Buying
Bazansky,
the hot dogs.
Whatever you guys want.
the Elwood City coach. I talked to Gary and I said, "Give me the keys to your team, Gary." What he says? I'll tell you what we do better than any team in softball. We put the ball in play one all the way down the lineup. He says usually in Double A softball, 1 through 5 are good, and then you have a big drop off all the way through their lineup. So at any time, the 8-hitter can beat you just like the 2-hitter can beat you. And then Greco's a tremendous pitcher. I've heard about the Montauk pitcher all year from Elwood. They told me, get ready, we're going to have to face her.
200 plus strikeouts.
We're going to have to face
this
her,
year.
so get ready. She's
That's
really
1-0
good.
written all over, doesn't it? I noticed that at Elwood City, that Grand Slam was early.
Yeah, it was, right out the bat.
That thing, they were done.
They mercy immediately.
Did I hear the team they murdered beat someone else badly, South Park? Like, they beat them by 10
Yeah,
they
runs,
did.
and
They
they
did.
crushed somebody.
Beat a good team, South Park. beat a good team. In Class A, Cardinal World, North Catholic 3, Menneson 2. Pitcher Elena Durzak, a complete game. Lillian Smyers 3 for 3, but then in the next round of the state, Sagertown 9, North Catholic 3. North Catholic finishes 16-6.
Well, Sagertown, we talk about volleyball, softball.
Yes.
The whipio isn't automatic. And this Montauk girl may
So
show Elwood
she's
the
showing
same
up right
thing.
there, yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the Butler Blue Sox, they're 5-5 on the season. They had multiple hit games last week by Will Snyder, Danny Herbeck, Dalton Hoyles, and Tyler Sullivan, all with 3 hits. And Sullivan had a game-winning single in the bottom of the 9th for a 5-4 win over Chillicothe. And in Lernerville, Alex Free of Saxonburg, he won the late model feature. Terry Young of Butler, he won the sportsman's feature. Now our stories of the week. Any shock? The National Hockey League Stanley Cup, the Pens win games 1 and 2. Boy, it looked like they had that third game. They were going to lock it up, but they lose in overtime 3-2. That 4-minute power play comes down to 3 minutes 52 seconds left, and San Jose scored. I didn't think that puck should have gotten across the blue line at that point. Someone was lax on defense, and then it goes into overtime. Sharks come out, hit the Pens 47-17, trying to play roller derby with them like the other teams didn't. And then in game 4, as physical game I've ever watched, guys. Pens win 3-1. Malcolm with a goal. How about Matt Murray? 23 saves, 958 save percentage.
And their defense is playing outstanding. He has not had to play on his head. He has not had to make a million great saves. He's just playing his normal game he's always played. The Pittsburgh Penguins defense, when they lost Daly, I thought they'd be struggling. Instead, they picked it up and went the other way, playing tremendous defense in front of Murray.
This thing's over. I mean, I don't want to put the Maluch on it. But when you look at the shots on goal in the previous series, and they have 85 more, I got to figure one of them's going in.
Just amazing. The speed. I look at them: speed, toughness, and they're very resilient. They could take a shot and come right back. Kessel with 2 assists. He's been brilliant. But I'll tell you what, the way Murray has been playing in the Cup has just been unbelievable. What he's done as a 21-year-old rookie.
And their defense. Tom mentioned the defense. Their discipline has been outstanding, keeping San Jose off the power play. They're not having any penalties, and San Jose thrives on 5-on-4. And when the Penguins looked at the series, said, "Listen, if we're going to play 5-on-5 against them, we'll win this Cup." And that's our goal. We're not going to the penalty box, and that's what they've done.
It's been incredible. And ironically, the whole thing started with the other backup goalie winning the first game against the Rangers. This kid's going to tie a record, I think, that it's 15 wins. He doesn't have 16 because the backup beat the Rangers.
And he came into that last game with an average of 1.94 goals yielded per game. Outstanding.
If you listen to our shows from months ago, could the Penguins win low-scoring games? They've always won 6-5s, 7-4s. Well, they proved that they decided that, we can win the Cup playing disciplined, great hockey with a goalie who's hot behind us. That's what they've done.
All right, percent chance they wrap this up Thursday night.
95.
No, I'd say at least 9 out of 10. You would think that's what it's going to be, but no, it won't be a blowout because San Jose plays hard. They play them hard. But I think they'll grind them down and win.
But San Jose, they have to be in a little bit of a disarray, state of shock. And not only that, it's been a long season. They have 5 or 6 guys who play are between the ages of 33 and 39. The Pens are still a very young team. Yeah,
that youth, that exuberance youth, I call it, has made them that much better with regards to their speed. Jeez, oh man, the Penguins, I didn't realize they were that fast because Tampa was that fast. Now they're playing San Jose, and you can see the speed difference.
That young Russian, he can't grow a beard. He's terrific, that kid. I thought, did he sneak in there? I'm looking. He doesn't have any fuzz at all. But is it Olin or Olin? So he can really play for Pittsburgh.
Olin.
Oh my God!
Mata, maybe Mata.
You're talking about
Mata.
No.
He doesn't. He looks like he's 18.
Yeah, you're talking about Mata. Yeah, no question about it.
Now, without them having won the Cup yet, I'm going to say right now that they're going to win it.
Yeah, sure.
I think they're a better team than the 2009 team, and it remains to be seen. It's a discussion we could have comparing them to the Lemieux teams of the 90s.
Yeah, I don't think they're as good as either one of them, and I knew.
I think better in 09.
I think Eddie would leave me. I think Eddie would leave me that way.
You have to win one more at least.
I know that.
I'm saying.
But I mean, just comparing to the 09 team, I think they're better. More speed, Albert.
No, they had to go through Detroit that year, and then Detroit would eat both these teams alive for lunch. The competition this year is not near what the 2009 team went through.
I think they're a better team. More skill, more power on offense. That might have been maybe a better defensive team back then, but speed-wise, can't be faster than this team.
I didn't say they're better. I'm faster. I said they're better. Detroit, because Detroit was a great team at that team. There's no great teams today.
And how about
the Pens beat them 4 out of 6?
Yeah, and Detroit was.
How about if they win it at home? It's the first win at home since 1960.
Oh my God!
Mazeroski's home run.
All the NHL games were on the road, as were the Super Bowls.
How about that?
And there was a Pittsburgh Piper thing or something.
Never think about that.
Yeah, never think about it.
Uh-huh.
In Major League Baseball, the Pirates have a doubleheader with the Mets. Last night's game was rained out. Return to Neil Walker, having a great year, 279, 13 home runs. The Pirates 30-26. They've lost 7 out of their last 10. They're 10 back of the Cubs, who are just running away at 40-16. Team batting average. Pretty good. Yeah, it's one of the best starts in the history
of Major League
Baseball.
Yes.
Up there with the Yankees
no
and
question.
the Indians
it's amazing.
and all those teams. Team batting average 277. But once again, we're redundant when we say this. The middle of the pen, they can't keep them close, and they can't hold a lead.
Yeah, it's a struggle, but there were still 4 games over 500. I looked it up again because I know Eddie would bring it up. They're better than every team in the National League except for 3 teams. The expectations on Pittsburgh is high. They're high, and if you just talked about this 3, they are fine. They got to get Liriano straightened out. Big one. Liriano straightened.
He's pushed back till Saturday.
Yeah, so something's wrong. That tells you right there.
Tyon starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, that tells you something right there, that they pushed him back, that something's wrong. So you got to get Liriano straightened out, and then, as you said, Hughes, never thinking that Hughes wouldn't be important. He holds down the middle relief. It's important that Hughes comes on in the middle.
Now, with Tyon called up, does he pass the date? Does he get the extra year?
Oh, yeah, has to
They
be.
wouldn't waste
No, I don't think they waste
Let me
anything.
say, when you say
Rule
that
5
about,
or whatever.
we say that, let's go to Sunday's game against the Angels. They're winning. The Pirates blow this game in the late inning. Here Watson comes on. He has Pujols 0-2, and he puts a fastball up into his wheelhouse. Where's the breaking ball? Down in the
Don't throw
dirt.
balls.
But here's the thing. The older hitters, we know this, they struggle with balls and later in their careers down below their knees. He put that right up there. Boom, it's gone, a home run. Huge mistake.
Yeah, and that's the way he throws, though. I mean, I watched him throws 94, and he lives and dies with fastballs. Pujols caught up with that one, but I'll take my chances through the next 5 months with Watson in the 8th inning. It's, once again, if you're going by one game, we can pull it out. We can put 1,000,001 games out. Pull them out. I could come up with 30
But I see more
games.
of these mistakes, and Hurdle has alluded to the fact that a lot of the pitchers, for whatever reason, going to Campman era, Watson, Hughes, their location is
you're right. That's
it's
a good
been
point.
poor.
Yeah,
I'm not
location
talking
is-
about
Should
him
be
throwing
someone
hard.
he should
But,
hit 0-2, right?
Albert, I understand the way he throws, but that's smart. 0-2, that ball has to be. You got to throw something.
He throws
down low
in.
away.
He pitches everything in.
Right, he threw
that's
that
what he
right
wanted.
in-
Yeah, it
right
came
in
out of
there.
the plate a little more. That's right.
It was up, though.
Up and over into the wheelhouse.
But he
as
was
they
perfect.
say.
He would be. He wouldn't be. He
wouldn't be
you
the
understand?
7th guy.
No, he's
Not
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Even when you have a guy 0-2.
You miss mistakes. They miss mistakes in the pros all the time. Pujols happen to not miss that one.
That's like
what
Trout. I
happens.
read what Trout's batting average is 0-2. It's astounding.
So he shortens his stride, or shortens his
and-
swing.
You lose about 100 points
Because I
off
wrote,
your average.
I
when
wrote
it's
the guy.
0-2.
I wrote the guy. I said, "Oh," he says, "Don't forget, that's not when he hits it. That's what it starts out as. He fights one off.
That's what he does.
takes the ball.
He's an exception to the rule because usually you're down
yeah.
0-2, 100 points off your.
I agree.
Now they have 3 coming up with the Mets, 1 at the Rockies, and then 3 home with the Cardinals.
Yeah, just you try to win 2 every series. That's the goal of every team in Major League Baseball. Unless you're the Cubs, who's winning 3 every day. But the goal is to win 2, lose 1. Win 2, lose 1, and that will get you in the playoffs. That's the way Major League
Let's
Baseball
now
works.
turn to boxing. Muhammad Ali, 1942 to 2016. What do we remember?
Well, first of all, I called some guys who knew much more about boxing than me, and the 2 things that came out was his global history, how he changed the world, and he was the first guy with foot speed who could also hit. Those are the 2 things I constantly got about Ali.
We had to go on the air about 5-6 hours after he passed Saturday and wanted to give him a little tribute, and it was interesting. People's thoughts on the greatest. And the one thing I don't think people talk about is he could take a punch.
Yes,
a
he
punch.
could.
And the other thing, I remember when he said he was now Muhammad Ali, there was dislike towards him by both whites and blacks,
Oh,
a
no
lot
question.
of confusion as to what was going on. I mean, we could debate whether he was the greatest boxer of all time. I think he was the greatest entertainer ever.
For
he
sure.
really
For sure, that
made
one.
the sport.
There's nothing.
The old
argue about
time
that.
sports like Dick Young,
Won't talk to him. I know.
they didn't talk.
And the boxing today, I don't know what it is. Even my mom back then, she knew who the heavyweight champ was. Back then.
Yeah, that was the king. You're right, Eddie.
Your grandma knew
No,
too.
the heavyweight. That was the biggest thing in the world. Who was the heavyweight champion of the world?
We
Yes.
have run out of time. I want to finish with the NBA Finals by saying this. It stinks. It's a huge disappointment.
I agree with Eddie on that one. How about that one?
I'm going to watch a movie on
Neither one of
Armstrong.
them watch the games. Now,
Yes, I
tell you
did.
that
Neither
right
one
now.
of them watches the
Well,
game,
you-
and they don't. It sticks. Neither one watches.
You
the
only
game.
have a sports channel.
I
you
don't
don't watch
watch-
anything.
I don't have to
else.
watch that,
We
but
have
know-
a more
know how they
balanced.
play.
We have a more balanced life. That's it. We've run out of time. Check Facebook for all the pictures of our athletes of the year.